second base. All right. Castellano was signed to a 4-year contract. He'll play every day. Shogo Akiyama, natural center fielder who can draw a walk, bat top of the order. He'll get playing time. And look, a lot of players here. A lot of players. Flexibility. The red center fielder, Senzel, he's not considered off limits. They want to really pursue. They really want to pursue an elite shortstop over Freddie Galvis. Wow! Anybody ever hear of Francisco Lindor? I know we talk about it all the time, but you got to believe that the Dodgers are still the favorite. Okay. Although the Dodgers have Corey Seager, and they're not really motivated to move Seager unless they land a top shortstop in return. Seager could be in the deal, right? Seager could go in the deal. Seager, there's a lot of things they could do. Doesn't only have to be Gavin Lux, okay? Don't forget, Senzel had surgery to repair that labrum in his right shoulder. That's a big deal. He started throwing about 2 weeks ago. So, his shoulder surgery is one of the reasons why he's not expected to be an option to play shortstop or third base. They want to really ease him in with that shoulder. And the Reds don't really have a pure backup shortstop on the roster, although Alex Blendino and Kyle Farmer have played shortstop for a while. So we'll see. And Senzel, who finished his rookie year hitting about .255 with a .315 on-base percentage. Okay? So, all right, so there you go. And they designated for assignment Jose Siri. I know you're going to go say, Siri, get out of here, right? Siri was ranked as the club's 15th prospect. So we'll see with that. Siri spent most of the season at Double-A, called up to Triple-A in August, and he did okay. He did okay. 11 home runs. He stole 26 bases. We're still waiting for Yasiel Puig. Come on. So with most of the probably all of the Major League Baseball free agents already off the board, now teams are beginning to shift their focus to short-term deals for certain veterans and minor league contracts and invites to Major League training camps. All that stuff is being considered. And it's unbelievable that there are certain teams, and I'll mention the Cleveland Indians as one. We still are talking about trading Lindor, but we're still talking about adding players like Yasiel Puig, because Cleveland still could be a contender. Don't forget, they traded Corey Kluber, and many people thought that was a sign that they were giving up, but Kluber only pitched a couple of games last year. And there are some that say his layoff is a blessing in disguise. So why can't the Indians re-sign Yasiel Puig? He joined the Indians in a July trade. He became a free agent in November, and he's the biggest name. And he's got a. I don't know if this is a plus or a minus. His connection to Cleveland, even though it was very brief, makes him either a logical candidate or a flawed candidate to come back to Cleveland. So the Indians have been very quiet in free agency, as they've been in the last 2 years. So the question is now, why has Cleveland shied away from Yasiel Puig? Anybody want to take a shot on that one, okay? Why have they shied away from prime time? Why have they shied away? SP fan, why have they shied away from Yasiel Puig? Okay? Here's the reasons. Now, here's the reasons that I can think of. Not necessarily the real reasons, but these are reasons. Here's the reasons, okay? He's 29, 7-year veteran, .277 career hitter. He's got an 8-something OPS, 820 OPS. So that would be very good for the middle of the order. But here are some of the reasons why Yasiel Puig in Cleveland. The Indians already have 9 outfielders on their 40-man roster. They added Delino DeShields in the Corey Kluber trade. Okay? They have young players like Daniel Johnson, Jake Bowers, and Oscar Mercado, who will all battle for playing time. Additionally, they have Franmil Reyes, who could be an outfielder. They've got Luplow. They got Greg Allen. And Puig is looking for a multi-year deal. Don't forget, we're going to talk about the Detroit Tigers. So we'll see about that. A lot of stuff to talk about with the Tigers. So we'll see. Yasiel Puig still hanging out there. And the way the signings, the free agent signings have gone the last 2 seasons, many veterans have waited until March to sign contracts. So we'll see what happens. Okay? We'll see what happens. And, of course, with the White Sox, with Encarnacion, Mazara, he won't sign there. And he's been known for some unusual behavior, which may mean there could be some friction between him and Terry Francona. All right, some little tidbit news. David Phelps is signed with the Milwaukee Brewers. Big deal. He's not fantasy relevant. Scooter Gennett worked out for a couple of teams, and I'm telling you, the Cubs could be one of the teams interested, according to Bruce Levine, who does a radio show. Wade LeBlanc, no big deal on any of these players. Wade LeBlanc signs with the Baltimore Orioles. Okay, and the Pirates of Phil Chaplin signed Robbie Erlin. Pablo Sandoval back with the Giants, and Emilio Bonifacio back with the Washington Nationals. Here's a trivia question for you. The most career wins by any manager who never won a World Series, and this, of course, with Dusty Baker being number 2. What manager has the most wins in Major League Baseball and has never won a World Series? And by the way, did I fail to say that Yolmer Sanchez signed with the Giants, and he's going to be the starting second baseman. So you may want to add him to your list if you're in the National League only. Yolmer Sanchez. Name the manager with the most wins who has never won a World Series. Okay, anybody want to get to that? I will tell you that, welcome back, Cotter. Who's here? Okay? I'll tell you. The Phillies, that bets to the Dodgers, and David Price has some legs. All right, you want to talk about Dick McAuliffe? I always loved Dick McAuliffe's batting stance, where his left-handed batter, his front foot was actually almost facing the dugout at first base, right? He had that open stance, big time. That was Dick McCall, one of my favorite players, by the way. I used to like the Tigers. And, all right, who was the Yankee killer? Name the pitcher who was the Yankee killer. Because every time he faced the Yankees, he had very good success. He was a Detroit Tiger. Let's see how good you are, Georgie. The Tiger pitcher, Mitchell Harston. Come on, Mitch. Who was the pitcher? Travelers here. Senzel to the Jays. What are you kidding me? Senzel to the Jets. Now, who was the Yankee? Who was the Yankee killer? It was Gene Mauch. That's right. George is right. Gene Mauch, most wins without. It was Frank Larry. That's right, Frank Larry. Chris Gallows got it. Frank Larry, the Yankee killer. We're not going to be talking about Frank Larry today. All right, next case. As we are, again, moving right along. A lot of talk in the chat room about the Dodgers going after Mookie Betts. If that happens, if Mookie Betts winds up on the Dodgers, Cody Bellinger would likely be the Dodgers center fielder. Betts will play right field. That's a pretty good defensive right field. Okay? One player that we may be forgetting about, and I know when I speak to Phil, it kind of, makes me think of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and we talked about the Pirates the other day, but now the Pirates are looking for an outfielder. I don't know. The idea of Phil. Look, at one point, Andrew McCutchen, Starling Marte, and Gregory Polanco were in the outfield for the Pittsburgh Pirates. How about that? That could be better than Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonilla, and Andy Van Slyke, right? Boy, the Pirates have had some good outfields, right? But one of their good outfielders this year is a big question mark in fantasy baseball, and that is that Gregory Polanco. He has never made an All-Star appearance, never won a Gold Glove, but his 6-year Major League Baseball career, has been pretty good. Pretty good, and he's not even 30 yet. He has the distinction of being the Pirates' highest paid position player at $8.5 million. Okay? He'll get over $11.5 million in 2011. He's got some options. But that's almost sure that Polanco is going to be traded like McCutchen was and Marte. Almost sure. So this is one trade that is still yet to formulate. I wonder if Polanco has to show himself in spring training. The best thing the Pirates can do is to play him and hope he plays well. Hope he plays well. The problem is that Polanco has never batted higher than .258, never scored more than 83 runs, but has stolen 17 bases, but he did it only once. He's 6'5", 235, and anybody, what do you think of not Placido? What do you think of Polanco? Let's start the bidding off at $5. $5 for Polanco. Pirates Polanco. Anybody want to spend $5 on Polanco in a 260 mixed league draft? Okay? So, Gregory Polanco for $5. Do I hear any action on Polanco? Okay? If Polanco isn't healthy, he is a National League. All right, it's $8 for Traveler. Traveler's got, the Pirates aren't trying, but they're trying to rebuild. DK Lucius passing. We got $8 for Gregory Polanco. $8 for Polanco going once. Polanco with $8 going twice. Phil Chaplin, the Pirate fan, is in on $5. We got $6 by Greg. $8 is the high. $10 to King Hap, who just enters the ring and throws in a zinger. $10 for Polanco. Going once. Brian Hurst going 4. Going once at 10. Going twice. Sold. $10. I love King Hap, just like in the WWE. All right? He's not here. He jumps in, and he wins the bidding. Great stuff, King Hap. And he's getting traded. King Hap, look, when you bid the most, you're entitled to your opinion, and getting traded certainly is a good one. All right, let's get on to the Detroit Tigers, the Tigers from Detroit. And just a couple of overview notes. It makes a lot of sense for the Pirates to really try to get a lot out of Victor Reyes this year. And if you take a look at the Tigers' depth charts, he could be playing right field. He did make some additional improvements with more playing time last year. He hit a little over 300 in around 275 at bats, and they're very bullish on Victor Reyes, who you may not be drafting in any of your drafts. Okay, so right now he's considered. They say it's an open competition. They still may sign somebody else, but look, Domingo Santana is out there. Lonnie Chisenhall is out there. Not a lot. They did have Matt Joyce out there, but he's been signed. Steven Souza's been signed. Santana would bring some power to the table. Chisenhall, left-handed hitter. So we'll see. Look, the Tigers have not made any declarations about Reyes, but we'll see what happens there. It's going to be interesting to see. And, of course, Matt Manning, Casey Mize. We'll talk